Welcome back, guys. I'm sorry for that disruption where we had some sort of technical issue that involved me having to restart my entire PS4 just to get back on this session. But anyway, we are back on. And just to ensure we don't have... Okay, we don't have an audio issue. Okay, we are good. So we are on lap 11 of 31 with Iceman still in the lead. Ardunk is still P2. JK trailing in P3. T-Pound is P4. Bowtie back in P5 there. Bucks is up P6. Galloway P7 and Graham down into P8. So Dunk is now 26 seconds off the lead of Iceman. JK is another 6 seconds behind with T-Pound trailing by 2.8 seconds. So Iceman has a pretty comfortable lead going so far. So I think the closest gap we have is T-Pound following JK. Not really sure what technical issue we had happening there, but it was something. I'm really not sure. We'll have to have a look at it. So we did miss just a few laps, but could not be avoided. Sorry about that. But will be hosting the post-race interviews after the race. So stay tuned for that, guys. Don't forget. Galloway just got a 3-second penalty. Just driving on board with T-Pound now. Let's see, he does have JK in his view going around right now. So let's see what's going on so far. So we got Galloway up into P6. Bucks is P7 now. Because the Bucks is making a pit stop. Let's just adjust the stats on stream just a little bit. So just to have a look here, Iceman has not made a stop as yet. Dunk has made one, that's why he is so far back. So Iceman will be making a stop, which will put Dunk about just a few seconds behind of him by the time he gets out of the pits. So that's going to be a pretty interesting go there. Dunk is going to have to just push as much as he can right now since he's on fresher tires, just to build, or actually break the gap down just a little bit by the time Iceman goes in and gets out. Iceman is in the pits, and let's see where Dunk is going to come out. Dunk is going around here now, and he gets out in front of Iceman. Iceman is now 1.8 seconds behind us, and Iceman is going to be following him, trying to get that lead back. So let's see how well that is going to go now. Once again, guys, sorry about the stream cutting, but could not be avoided. Hopefully everyone does get back online for the stream. I'll just have to post the link back into Discord for the guys when they finish your race, so you have a look at that. So actually a pretty good race so far. We're 13 laps in. We don't have any retirements so far. No DNFs, nothing. Pretty good race, gotta say that, at least. So Iceman has finally made his stop. He's now in P2 with JK just behind him coming down. So Iceman did go onto the hard tires as well as JK, going to the end on those. So let's see how long Dunk can actually hold the lead this time around. Having Iceman 1.5 seconds just behind him. A gap that is not that hard, but it does seem to be coming down just a little bit already. It's now down to 1.3 seconds. JK has his gap down to 6.1 seconds. T-Pong has a 1.1 second gap between JK and himself. 17 seconds for Bowtie all the way back from him, so he has a pretty decent gap there. Again, guys, I will be posting the link for the website for Can-Am Racing for anyone who wants to sign up for their upcoming 2020 season, F1 2020 season, starting August the 2nd. Please do have a look at the link in the description of the video and check that out. Just register and the guys will get in contact with you for the tryouts. And hopefully we get to see you on track come August 2nd for the new season. Actually before that, for pre-season testing, which I'm actually pretty much looking forward to. So let's see what's happening here. We have Iceman catching up just a half a second now behind Dunk. So I'm gonna just ride on board just a little bit to see how well that's gonna go. Because I don't think he's gonna just let that lead slip away that easily, because he was leading the race from the start, going all the way. I think Dunk did a little bit of a lead when he did go for his pit stop because he was on pressure tires. That gap is breaking down just a little bit more each lap going. And Iceman does go for it. A little bit rough, but he did try. Dunk is coming back at him. Dunk is going to try and get it Dunk back out in this turn here. Iceman does have a better go coming out of that corner. And got quite a little bit of a lead there. I don't know if Dunk can get it back right now or he's going to need DRS to do this, but let's see how it goes. Pretty good driving from the guys so far. Pretty good battle going on for P1 between Iceman and Dunk. Got JK about 5 seconds behind. He broke that gap down from about 7 seconds, I believe. He is going to be in the fight for P1 as well with the two of them by the time we get at least maybe to lap 2021. Let's see how well. Oh, and Dunk does. He does make a little bit of a mistake, losing some time there. Now Iceman builds the gap up to 2.2 seconds and going. And JK breaks his gap down to 4 seconds. So that's bad on both sides for him. T-Pound is just about 2.6 seconds behind JK right now. So let's have a look how T-Pound is doing. Pretty interesting that we haven't had any retirements, and this is Singapore, guys. Iceman has his lead up to 2.8 seconds now. JK has broken his down to 4.2 seconds. Iceman is now building his lead back up just because of that little mistake that Dunk did make. Of course, consistency is the key in this game. If you're going to be chasing someone down, we got to avoid making those mistakes. But they do happen, guys. Even to the best of us, it does happen. And his tires are 9 laps old. Mediums running. Iceman was on fresh hards. Got Bucks running here with a way less than a second behind of Galloway. Quite sure he's going to be trying for a move here. Going down into the straight now. Let's see how that goes. Just not close enough on that occasion. Galloway is going to have to defend as much as he can here right now, trying to prevent Bucks from getting past him. That is a pretty close gap. Oh, and they almost touch. Luckily, no damage. Galloway did take it just a little bit wide there. Bucks is trying to capitalize on any little mistake that Galloway can make going here into the corners. Galloway currently on a lot of pressure just for this P6. Very different driving style from both of these drivers right now. If you look at the way they are approaching the corners, and they do have contact there. I think Bucks is getting tired being P7. He is trying really hard to get there. Of course, there is so much you can actually just break sometimes going into a corner, and there's nowhere else to go. You're gonna have to just go into the car in front of you. Coming down the starting gate straight. And here we go. Bucks does get it moved on, but can he hold it going into the turn? Because Galloway is going to get it back. Galloway does hold that back. Pretty good defending. These guys are going to probably have a go at it, going down the straight again. Galloway comes out in front. Keep holding it on that P6. Iceman is still out in the lead with 6.3 seconds, I believe, off of Dunk now. Dunk is has JK 3.3 seconds behind him, who has T-Pound another 3.4 seconds behind. Bowtie is way behind with 23 seconds. So T-Pound actually has enough time to go in, change tires, and get out back if he needs to. I would assume so. We got Bucks and Galloway really going at it here for between P6 and P7. Let's just ride on board with Bucks and let's see how this fight is actually gonna go. Who's gonna take P6 on this occasion? Going on to the pit straight, DRS is enabled, and Bucks has it going down. Just not close enough to make a move as yet. Always an interesting battle to follow with these guys. Power placement is actually pretty important here, going into and out of the corners. He was thinking about having a go down that straight, but just not enough straight line speed to get him, and not enough straight actually. Oh, blocking up just a little bit just to avoid contact there. The straight sections on Singapore are really not that much long that you can actually have enough time to go have a good go at it. You have to be pretty close coming out of the last corner going into the straight to actually have a pretty good go. And you really have to have a lot of straight line speed. JK is not into P2 because Duncan T-Pong are both in the pits right now. Iceman still out with the lead, is 11 seconds off of JK, so JK will be attacking for him now. He'll be heading straight on down for Iceman. Let's see how well he can try and break the gap down from what Dunk was doing. But Dunk has come out back on medium tires, so he'll be probably going to the end on those. It'll probably be a two-stopper for him. T-Pong on mediums as well, as is Bowtie, who just went in the pits. Bowtie coming out of the pits behind Bucks right now, who we're riding on board with. Following Galloway, trying to get past for a P5 now instead of P6. And he's going to have a go at it going down the straight here. Can he get it done, and can he hold that move? Let's see if Galloway is going to get him back or not. Maybe not on this occasion, but they are going to be fighting it now, going down. I got Bowtie might be joining that fight pretty soon. He's about 3.7, 3.6 seconds behind these two guys coming, because he just came out of the pits on fresh mediums. So we're 20 laps into this race, just about 11 laps left to go. Iceman now had a 12-second lead off of JK. JK still trying to break that lap time, those gaps down. Ardong is in P3 with a 18-second gap between him and JK, who's now in P2. And he has Tipang another 22 seconds behind him. Box is now building a lead of 1.5 seconds off of Galloway. Bowtie is about 1.6 seconds behind Galloway coming. Graham is in P8, about 17 seconds behind. On 10 lap all tires, just trying to finish the race at least there, because he is gonna have to probably pit again with those tires, but we'll see how that goes. JK's tires are 11 laps over, they're hard, so let's see how well these guys gonna actually manage them. So let's see how the pit stops have been going. So Iceman has done 1 stop, JK has done 1, Dunk has already done 2 stops, T-Pound's done 2, Bucks has done 2, Galloway, everyone else has done 2 stops except for our top 2 guys right now, Iceman and JK. And Bowtie gets past Galloway, because Galloway did go a little wide on that one there. Interesting how Codemasters actually made it so the audience in the game actually applauds when that happens. That was pretty cute, pretty good. Also good overtake though by Bowtie, so good job on him. He is now up into P6, Galloway down to P7. Now Bowtie is about 2.3 seconds off Bucks for his lead, so he's going to be trying to fight for that P5 now. Some very distant gaps out in front with the guys running there. A much closer gap with the back runners here. Let's just enable the full track map so we can see where everyone else is as we're going through this. Again guys, do a quick reminder, we will be doing the post-race interviews after the race, immediately after the race finishes, and we have who is P1, 2 and 3. We'll have just a quick word with them to actually hear what the drivers have to say about the race. That's actually a pretty good view going over the bridge section there. Bowtie has Bucks clear in his view right now. So we're going to be trying for a overtake move pretty soon as this is going on. 16 seconds, 16.5 seconds actually is a gap between Iceman and JK right now. Botai is seriously working on breaking that gap down right now. Gap is now under a second. Let's see how this is gonna go. Riding on board with Bowtie now. Just trying to keep it stable going through. Gap between JK and Dunk is now down to 9.5 seconds. Bowtie is being so careful right now with his car going through these sections. Got pretty close there, has DRS and is going down the straight. I think he held back just to get that DRS. And he does get the move done. Is he going to hold through these sections coming up? Yes, it will. Box will have to get back a little bit closer to try and get back and move back on Bowtie. So Bowtie is now up into P5. Following T-Pang about 20 seconds in front of him. Got Galloway down about 8.6 seconds behind Box right now going in that Toro Rosso. Got Graham down in P8 for his Ferrari. Iceman comfortably out in the lead. 18.9 seconds is the lead off of JK right now. Quite a comfortable lead. 19 seconds, 19.4 seconds now. Dunk has his gap roll now to 8.8 seconds off from JK. Let's see how much of that gap JK is going to be able to break down in the next 7 laps to finish off this race. T-Pang has about 20 seconds in front of him and 22 seconds behind of him to play with. Of course, the 20 seconds in front of him is the time he's going to need to break down in order to get to Dunk to get P3. T-Pang almost lost P1 in Italy. He was pretty lucky, I gotta say, that Dunk actually made a mistake on the ending of the race and actually had a penalty as well. Otherwise, he was going to lose P1 to Dunk. It was a pretty good race. But let's see how well T-Pang does at Singapore. Currently running P4. I think he started P7, if I'm correct. Apologies. We are getting back on. Guys, here we go once again. We are back on to lap 25. Let's see if anything has changed. So far, so good. We have Iceman still out in the lead. JK follows in P2. We got Dunk in P3. T-Pang P4. Bowtie is now P5. Box is down to P6 since Bowtie went for that. Galloway is P7 and Graham down in P8. The interval times will start to go back up again just because we just joined back the session. Those hearts are 12 laps old on Iceman, so I'm assuming he's going to be going to the end of the race with those. 13 laps old now because Graham just pitted with just a few laps older than that. And there's just about 5 laps left in the race, so I think Iceman can actually nurse those tires all the way to the end. Let's see how well he's going to go with that. He has a 21-second lead right now off of JK. That gap was actually much smaller, I think, was it? Or may I be mistaken? Dunk is 6.3 seconds off the lead of JK right now. As I remember, T-Pong had about 20 seconds in front of him and about 22 seconds behind of him. Gap in front is now up about 19, still about 20 seconds, 19.8. Gap is not breaking down that much for T-Pong right now. Then we got Bowtie behind of him with about 22 seconds behind. I think it was. Bucks is about 3 seconds off for Bowtie right now. He's trying to catch back up to make up for Bowtie getting past him a few laps ago. Dunk really trying to break that 6-second lead down. 5.9 seconds now. Lead off that JK has off of him. Trying to get back for P2. And there goes Jerry. Was that JK? No, that was not. I do like that bridge section. Actually, quite a really good overhead view. Of course, we don't get a full overhead view going through it. This is Galloway, who is 15 seconds off of Bucks right now. So JK is on hards and his tires are 18 laps old. Iceman is on hards, his tires are 14 laps old. So that already tells me that Iceman is going to be able to go all the way to the end on his tires. So he will not be making another pit stop, and I think with 23 seconds of a lead, he actually could make a pit stop and get out in front of JK and still hold that P1. So pretty decent race so far, actually a pretty good race. We haven't had any DNFs. Lap 27 out of 31 right now, just under 4 laps more to go. So pretty good driving from everyone. That is Dunk, who does have a little bit of damage on his front wing. The right side end plate is missing, if you can notice it. Sector 2 and 3, we have a yellow flag. What has happened? Bucks is still 3 seconds, 3.9, 4.2 seconds now, sorry, behind of Bowtie. So everyone is trying to maintain the gap that they have and build a little bit, and everyone behind someone is actually trying to break the gaps down. So just about 3 laps left for this race, and that is not much time. So let's see what's going to happen in that few laps to go. As we saw in Italy, in the closing stages of that race, anything can happen, because that race did change quite a little bit going to the end. So let's see if anything interesting is going to happen down at the end of this race here. Iceman been holding the lead for most of this race, you have to say, actually. Let's see how well he's going to do for the next 3 laps, if he can actually still finish in P1. JK holding on to that P2 currently, but just about 4.3 seconds behind him is Dunk coming, and he's on 9 laps old mediums. so much more fresher than his 19 laps that JK has on, and those are hard. So it's all going to be dependent on who has more pace than who, and who can take the corners. It is a little bit better here, because I think JK started 5th and he's now up into P2. Dunk started P3, I think it, right in P3, I think it was. Let's have a look at that, because it'd be quite interesting to know. So position changes. Iceman we knew started in P1, he's still in P1. JK started 3 positions down, that's gonna be, let's see, 3, 2, 1, that's P5. If I'm getting that correct, I think he started P5. Up into P2, and Dunk started right there in P3, holding on to that. So Iceman and Dunk, the only 2 guys who's actually held their positions in this race so far that they started on. Bucks is down at least 4 positions there. Graham down 4. Both Ferraris are down 4 positions. Not having a good day for the Ferrari guys there. Galloway is up just 1 position. We got T-Pound and Bowtie. Both are up 2 positions right now. So as it stands, guys, we're just trying to have a look at who we're going to be talking to at the end of this race. So far it seems to be we're going to be having Iceman P1, JK in P2, and Duncan P3. But remember, guys, anything can change in the closing stages. Just under 3 laps to go. Let's see what's going to happen. Iceman and JK have only stopped once in this race. Quite amazing to have them only stop once. They're really working on their tire degradation there, so really keeping those tires alive for that amount of time, because the tires are man, that is some serious life on those tires. JK has been running them for 20 laps. Iceman has been running them for 16 laps. Galloway's been doing a pretty interesting job as well. He's been running hards for 18 laps. So Iceman does have that information available to him from his MFD. So he's going to know that JK tires are 20 laps old and he's only 17 laps old. There's just about under 2 laps to go now. And he's going to know he can take his car all the way to the end. And if JK is running 20 laps, 21 laps now, I can definitely run it as well. So really good driving from everyone so far. Some really good overtakes, some really good defending, some really good chasing each other around the track, I gotta say. So Iceman still about a 24-second lead of JK. So still running on lap 30, guys. We'll be entering lap 31 pretty soon here right now with Iceman. Pretty significant gap between everyone. Box has entered the pits, going on soft, probably trying for a fastest lap right now. So we're going to be going to track on board with Iceman around for the final lap of the Singapore Grand Prix. Pretty good race, extremely good race so far, guys, I gotta say, because no one has a DNF, no one has retired, and everyone's actually just been driving pretty well, trying to break gaps down. Pretty good overtakes I've seen, pretty good battles on track, pretty good strategies on behalf of Iceman and JK, because his tires are 18 laps old now. And we got JK with 22 laps old tires. So So once again, guys, we will have the post-race interviews just as soon as everyone crosses the finish line. We will talk to the driver, just have just a few words or a few seconds from each of them, so you guys can actually hear from the drivers themselves. And we will probably be doing this after every race. Join us next Sunday for Russia and Japan. Should be a good one. And if you have not seen the Italian GP as yet that we had just a few hours ago, today, do have a look at it. Was a pretty good, some pretty good battles going on track. And was a pretty interesting ending to that race. So have a look at that. Iceman coming around the last few corners now, and there he goes, taking P1. Pretty good job with the fireworks there. I was actually hoping to have that done. So that's P1 for Iceman. You got JK coming around now. Boxy's got another 5-second time penalty that was unserved, so that's going to be added to him. Alright, so we have Iceman P1, JK holds P2, Dunk just holds P3. Got T-Pound coming around the last few corners right now. We're just going to wait for the drivers to just get over the finish line, then we will have the drivers come online, the top three, and just get a few words from them quickly before we end off the stream. So that's T-Pound P4. We have Bowtie coming. There's a little back of the track. I think Graham will be crossing the line before him. Yes, Graham does. So we're just waiting for Bowtie to get across the line now, and he will. So our top three, Iceman, JK, and Ardunk. Congratulations to them, and let me just get off the stream just a bit, just to get on the chat, and we will have just a quick word with them. Alright guys, I'm on the chat party now.
Oh, you're
So I think everyone has crossed the line already there. Alright, so let's just... So as it stands, so I think we still hold it as Iceman in P1, JK P2, and Dunk in P3. I'm correct with that, right? Alright, good. So let's have... That actually was a great race. So let's have just a quick word from Iceman. How was it holding the lead for that amount of laps? Did you actually think Dunk was going to get away with it when he did get past you just a little bit?
Yeah, no, it was a good race. It was just sticking to strategy, and tires were holding up. I think my setup was really good, as they weren't brutal on tires at all. So, I mean, I was able to keep them pretty fresh for most of the race.
Yeah, because you had those tires, you ran them for 18 laps. Did you know that JK's tires were 22 laps old by the time he got to the end of the race?
Oh no, I didn't.
I actually thought probably maybe use the MFD and check that, but his tires were 22 laps old. So good job on both of you guys for actually holding on that long. And I think you guys were the only two to stop, one less stop than everyone else. So good job on that, Iceman. JK, how was that race for you? You started 5th, I believe, right? And you finished P2. That's a pretty good improvement on it.
Yeah, that was quite the race. I was starting to lose quite a bit of grip on my old hard tires by the end, but I had a really well balanced setup, and big thanks to my pit crew for the fast pit stop. You guys are the best, and yeah, it was a good race.
Yeah, but my main question was going to be about the tires, because I was wondering how much of grip did you actually have going on 22 laps with those tires coming to the last lap there?
There were only a few laps left in the race, and Dunk was catching me by at least a lap, or 1 second per lap. So I was worried he was going to catch me, but I managed to preserve my tires as best as I could.
Okay, good job on that race. Congratulations for P2 though. That was a really good drive.
Thank you.
Okay, Dunk, how are you, man? How was that race for you? Okay, you started right there in P3, finished right in P3. Your gap was just about 4.5 seconds to get to JK. How hard was it to try and break that down? Yeah, because they did both. I think both Iceman and JK had a completely different strategy to you. Because yeah, but you ran a pretty good race actually, holding that P3. So I gotta say congratulations to you. Really good race. You actually did a very good job in Italy as well. So on both races, congratulations to everyone. Really good race for Singapore. I'm really happy with the results. So I think that's it for our interview. So we don't want to keep you guys too long. So I'm just going to end the stream here now. And for everyone watching, please remember the link to the website is in the description if you want to sign up for the new season on F1 2020, which starts August 2nd. And also next week we'll be doing our races at Russia and Japan. Should be two good races. I'll be setting up the events and see you guys then.